There's a tank located in Veterans Park in the city of Oakland Park, Florida on 21st Avenue. Did a survey of the vehicle and found several things that are of concern that have to do with the maintenance of the vehicle. First concern with the vehicle is the torsion bars which support the vehicle. Within the M60 tank, there's great concern about water in the hull of the vehicle because the torsion bars which directly support the tank itself can become rusted and corroded and might fail. Torsion bars are actually steel bars that go through the very bottom of the hull. It was noted that the hull is probably full of water because of several openings on the turret and other places that will allow water to fall in when it rains. The next area of concern would be the road wheels. It's very obvious that the road wheels are all rusted. There's a huge amount of rust collecting at the bottom of the road wheel. And the rust is diminishing the thickness of the metal that supports the tank. The road wheels are actually the wheels that the tank does roll on. They have a particular thickness in order to be able to support that tank. Over time, the rust collecting on the road wheels has degraded the amount of metal in the road wheel. The next area of concern is the track itself. The track is in very bad condition. The inside or inboard portion of the track is extremely corroded and rusty. Each track block is made up of 2 bars and they're put together with what's called an end connector. These are little oval steel pieces that hold the pins together. The track connectors are extremely corroded, especially on the inside, and also extreme rust on the outside. Without those connectors, the track blocks themselves can separate from each other. The corrosion is so severe that if you look up under the fender where it's supposed to be protected, the corrosion is even worse. Also noticed on the steel on the track block was steel separating from the block itself, creating very sharp shards where you would not expect them to be and can be dangerous. Also on the exterior of the vehicle, the support system and the road wheels and drive sprocket are also very rusty. An additional consideration to the road wheels and the suspension system is the rubber that covers them. I noted that it was fracturing and breaking because it was not protected. I suggest that someone paint them black in a way that will protect the rubber from further deterioration. It was noted that very high on the hull of the vehicle at the rear engine doors, there's a place, a couple of bolts. They're almost chest high to a person standing on the ground. Water has been running regularly out of these places, indicating that the hull is extremely full of water. The greatest openings for water to run into the hull of the vehicle are the lack of the canvas coverings around the main gun and the 50 caliber position. As of now, the gun is gone, the opening is very wide and you can even see into the turret through the openings around this position. A lot of the areas where the rain does get into the vehicle is around the openings on the top of the turret and hull itself. The welding on the patches in order to keep them closed stop in places where the water will run in the most. Looking underneath the vehicle for the lowest point in the hull, I noticed water dripping from 2 drains that are very small. Both of them have algae and water. Plants are actually growing out of the bottom of the tank as a result of the water in the hull. If the maintenance and repairs are not done on the vehicle fairly soon, the consequences is that the suspension system could collapse and the vehicle wind up sitting on its hull. If someone wants to salvage the vehicle as it exists, I recommend that there be supports underneath the hull to sustain the hull if the support suspension system fails. I also recommend that areas that are heavily rusted or corroded be taken back down to the bare metal, primed and painted with a paint that will go over a rusted metal. Otherwise, the metal will continue to rust. With all the issues with the vehicle and steel splitting off of it and dropping to the ground, it could be hazardous to somebody that wants to climb on the vehicle. My suggestion is an additional thing and at least some kind of visible barrier like poles with a chain suspended between them that would indicate that you don't want anybody to climb on the vehicle. The additional recommendation would be that you have a placard or a display describing the vehicle, its weight, size, and possibly the history of the vehicle and its use.